Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of BrainBites. This video is brought to you by our host at BrainstormBrewery.com, as well as all of our patron donors at patreon.com/BrainstormBrewery. If you enjoy this video, check us out on iTunes, BrainstormBrewery.com, or any other podcast app. So recently on one of our episodes, we talked about shipping, but we had some audio issues and we didn't really get to talk about all the things that we wanted to. So I'm here with a BrainBite to talk about, go over a overview of how to ship cards, the different types of ways that you can ship cards, the various insurance packages you can purchase, all the risks that happen during shipping, and just basically how you want to get your magic card from one place to another in the safest, most efficient, and quickest way possible. So we're going to start with plain white envelopes. These are the sort of cheapest, the bread and butter way to ship a magic card. If you're just looking to ship like a $5, $10, $15 card, this is probably what you're going to want to use. I get these at Walmart. They're like 2 cents a piece. You can get 100 of them for $2. You get the peel and sticky ones, so you don't have to lick 100 envelopes. It's going to be large enough to fit anywhere from 8 to 10 cards by itself. If you want, you can get the bigger ones. These are going to hold up to 25, 26 cards if you really know how to package them. But basically, these don't come with tracking. They're not going to be able to guarantee you're going to get it there. I mean, the USPS has a pretty high success rate of around 95, 97%. But this is basically the bread and butter, the bare bones of what you're going to get when you ship a magic card. So people have shipped magic cards in a lot of ways. I'm sure you've bought magic cards in the mail. You've received them in a number of different ways. Everybody has their own preferred method of how they package the card safely. Some people use top loaders. Some people use cardboard. Some people have used cereal boxes in the past. I've bought magic cards and gotten cards sandwiched in between cereal boxes. So I'm going to show you one of my preferred ways to ship cards that has worked for me in the past. It protects cards from damage. Make sure they don't get beat up in the mail system, kind of like that. So you're going to want to take a single card, put it in a penny sleeve, like this. We got a Jace the Mind Sculptor here. It is inside a penny sleeve. Not a perfect fit, just a penny sleeve is fine. And you're going to want to put it in the top loader, either upside down or right side up. Plastic case and everything. And then you're going to want to put it in a team bag. And team bags are just bags with a little resealable piece of plastic at the top. And these basically just are named after baseball team bags, so they can hold a pretty large number of cards in them. Slide the card into the team bag, tear it off, get the sticky out of the way, fold it up, and then you can just slide it into the envelope and then seal it up. This is going to be your most efficient way to just make sure the card gets from point A to point B. You don't get tracking, so this is what you're going to want to use for, again, like a cheaper card. Probably not anything over $30 or $40, but that also depends on your margins. So if you're a high volume seller, if you're shipping out a ton of cards, and you really trust the postal system and you don't have a high loss rate, you might want to use this for $30 or $40 cards. I've done it in the past. I'm willing to take that risk. If you sell a card on TCG Player, the highest value cards you can ship in a plain white envelope without tracking is $50. So anything that you sell on TCG Player, if you get an order totaling $50 or higher, you will have to ship with tracking, and we'll get to that in a little bit. So one of the best ways to guarantee that your package gets to the correct location is to ship with tracking. I got my bubble mailer here. These are things you can buy on Amazon in bulk. You can get them at the post office or at a drugstore or Wegmans or something like that, but it's going to cost you a lot more. I mean, if you just pick this up on the counter on the way to the post office, it's going to cost you like $1 or so for this bubble mailer alone, before you pay for the envelope, before you pay for the paper, the ink, anything like that. So the bare minimum that you will pay to get this label with tracking is $2.66, and that's if you go to paypal.com/shipnow. We're not an affiliate of PayPal. They're not paying us or anything. That is just, as a seller, that's the guaranteed cheapest way to get a tracking number for a package like this. Depending on the size of the bubble mailer you use, you can fit anywhere from 30, 40, maybe even a couple hundred cards. These are pretty small bubble mailers, but I've got a package right here. It's got around 35 cards. Fits in there. It's safe. It's gonna be secure. Now, the thing about tracking is that tracking doesn't guarantee that the package will arrive on time. It doesn't guarantee you anything, actually. It just gives you a way to notify you if the package has arrived, if it's lost. It doesn't actually ensure the package, and there's a lot of misinformation out there, I think. That was basically what our listener email was sent in about recently, is that they were concerned that they had sent a package to Card Kingdom and it was tracked, and then somebody ended up slitting open the package with a knife and taking the cards out, and then Card Kingdom received an empty package. And I mean, sort of the assumption there is that if you pay for package, you have a recourse with the post office, and that they would reimburse you or something like that because the cards were stolen while they were in their protection. That's not true, though. The only way you can get insurance is if you either purchase it separately, and there's a separate option on paypal.com/shipnow. You can check a little box and then decide how much value you want to assign to your package, and that's how much the insurance will cost. So if you're shipping something like a volcanic island or a bayou or like a set of Mox diamonds or something like that, then the tracking will, or the insurance will cost a lot more than if you're just shipping a $30-40 card. And again, that just comes down to your margins, whether you pay for that or not. So if you're shipping out hundreds and hundreds of packages a week, or if you're unloading your collection, or if you're piecing out just tons and tons of cards, you probably don't want to pay for insurance. But if this is your first time shipping cards, if you're really wary about sending $500 or $600 worth of cards to Card Kingdom or TCG Player or Star City or something like that, you might want to shell out for insurance just for the peace of mind. The thing is, though, you're not guaranteed insurance unless you purchase priority mail. And priority bubble mailer will look like this. You can get these at the local post office. You can order them online. They are free. So you can just go to the post office, or you can go to USPS.com. You can say, hey, I want 100 of these little bubble mailer things right here. They will send you as many as you want within reason. But you don't actually pay for the label until you pay for it on something like PayPal or the post office. So you can stock up on these if you want, and they're completely free to use for packaging wise. So what you're going to want to do with these is basically the same as before, but these you can also fit booster boxes in if you stretch the bubble mailer tight enough. You can fit several thousand cards in these if you package it the right way with something like a BCW flat box. Like one of these come in many different sizes, and you can sort of play a Tetris game to effectively choose how to maximize your packaging. But purchasing priority mail will guarantee you up to $50 of insurance without any additional cost. So a priority bubble mailer like this one, I mean, I've shipped unstable booster boxes in these, I've shipped Ixalan boxes in these, and it's going to cost you around $69 to ship. Again, that's if you use paypal.com/shipnow. It's going to be a lot cheaper than if you go to the post office. It's going to be cheaper than using like FedEx or UPS or anything like that. So this is definitely your best bet if you're looking to ship a high number of cards or shipping a lot of volume. Definitely just stick with the PayPal shipping. You can create your own label at home. Anyone with a printer can do it, or a printer and a PayPal account. Anybody with a printer and a PayPal account can do that. But that's going to be your best bet. But again, you are only guaranteed $50 of insurance if you do this. The other thing is that even if you purchase insurance, it's basically sort of like a court case with the USPS, except without all the actual legal stuff. I mean, you have to fight for your insurance. You have to basically prove to them and give them a whole bunch of information. There's a whole lot of time investment involved. Like, I've only had 3, I think, situations where I've had to submit a claim for insurance, and I've gotten paid for 2 of those. So there was one claim where I lost a couple $100 of packaging several years ago, and I fought tooth and nail with PayPal over this and with USPS, and basically just like, hey, I mailed this package and then it got lost and I paid for insurance, and then they just never ended up paying me. So that's just something that can happen. They basically said they rejected my claim, and they said, we don't think this is worth paying you over. So even if you do pay for insurance, you're not 100% guaranteed to get that payout for what you want. So another thing regarding tracking is that you have the option to purchase signature confirmation, and that's going to be an additional $2.45 on the PayPal website. And that basically just means that when this item is delivered, they will have to sign, the recipient will have to sign for it. There will have to be someone at the door present who will sign for the package and receive it, just basically making sure that it doesn't get stolen off of a porch, or that it doesn't get grabbed out of a mailbox or something like that. And that does cost an additional $2.45. If you do sell something on TCG Player, or if you sell a bunch of items on TCG, and those items total over $250, you are required to purchase signature confirmation for that package. So it's going to be a little over $5, again, plus your materials. So if you get your bubble mailers, your printer ink, your paper in bulk, your all these supplies, your sleeves, your top loaders, it is going to be cheaper. But $5 is sort of the upper limit you should be paying for signature confirmation with tracking. Again, so just to recap, we have plain white envelopes. These are the bare bones you can give. There's no tracking. There's nothing attached to them, no security. But they have a pretty high success rate. This is probably your best bet if you're just shipping like $5, $10, $15, $20 cards. I mean, I personally will ship cards up to $40 in plain white envelopes. If you get an order for 15 or 20 cards, you can use a bigger plain white envelope. And for these, I definitely recommend using at least 2 top-loaded, team-bagged cards, and then you can sort of fit them both in here. So, and again, each of these team bags will hold around 12 cards, so you can definitely make sure they sort of fit exactly in there, and then tape them down. And then this is sort of the biggest plain white envelope you'll have to ship without tracking, and this is going to be around 93 cents. We have regular tracking. This is going to guarantee your package gets there 99% of the time, but for those 1% of cases where it gets lost in the mail or the tracking never updates, or even if the person just says they never got it, there's no real official recourse with the USPS. Like if something gets stolen out of here or if the package gets destroyed, you don't have any recourse with the USPS. The only way you can get recourse is if you do purchase insurance, or if you ship with priority, you are guaranteed to get at least $50 worth of insurance. Alright, so I think that's a decent little shipping 101 episode for the Brain Bites. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. It's a free way to support the cast. Check out patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery if you're interested in supporting us financially. We've got some pretty nice perks up there for the $1, $5, $10, $20 a month patrons. And check out the rest of the channel for more finance, magic content, and maybe a little bit of comedy if Jason feels up to it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.